Hello everyone, good evening. Today is December 19th. Welcome to another episode of Ripster Daily Trade Recaps and Teachings. Guys, market stays on steroids one more day. Very bullish all day market. And although a lot of these Magnificent 7, Apple, Microsoft, NVIDIA, all those, they were weaker today, but IWM, which is the breakout that we are going to discuss, the small caps has been doing good, and that's why a lot of those smaller names have been doing good. We had some decent trades today, guys. We'll talk about CHWY Long, CVNA Long, how we focused on our solar names in the pre-market, and then day 3 on Adobe Gap Fill trade. We'll discuss that, how we were able to get AMD and Tesla longs today. So decent day in the market. Let's start. Before I start, just if somebody is new follower or new to my YouTube, these are the recaps from my daily timestamp trade ideas from my community. So these are daily timestamp trade recaps from my community. I wake up every day 45 minutes before the market open. I go through all the market news. We do a wake up summary where we look at everything happening in the market. Geopolitical, fundamental, futures, crude, oil, and all the sectors, upgrades, downgrades, the news. So we look at everything. We look at various pre-market news movers. I have a lot of news sources that I provide in the community where we make sure we keep eyes on everything that's moving today so that we can make our watch list. So this morning we were ready with our watch list, and we were keeping eyes on solar names, we were keeping eye on Bitcoin, and that's how we came up with our watch list. So we were ready for the pre-market. Before the market open, I give my levels to everyone. These are the levels. You can pause and screenshot them and see how they worked out. So these levels tell us what kind of pivot is it. Are we going to be bullish or bearish, and how we are going to trade a particular market name. So then before the market open, I talk about my bias, my plan for few of the names before the market opens. For example, this morning we had a plan on CHWY, CVNA, Adobe. So we had a plan on CHWY to be bullish, CVNA we had a bullish bias as well. We had Adobe and Costco as a day 2, day 3 watches. And we were also watching AMD, NVIDIA, and semiconductors, which were weak, especially NVIDIA, which we will talk in a bit. Anyways, so that's the introduction. So let's start with our trades for the day. I'm going to talk about IWM today first. So IWM was on my watch today this morning because IWM, the mid caps, and these are the stocks which benefit from low interest rate environment, and we are expecting some kind of rotation from the big mega caps into these smaller names. So IWM was on my watch because, as you see, there was a nice downtrend channel breakout. There was 199 and 202 resistance levels which were breaking out this morning on IWM. If I look carefully here, if I look at how we did today, was, as you see, as soon as I gave a plan pre-market as well, 200 199 test, and then as soon as the market opened, I said it's a good long. You can see the hair bounce from pre-market EMA Clouds, and then it pushes our pre-market highs, and that's when I was talking about 199 breakout. You can see the 199 breakout here and big push, and then I was like we hold for our 200 breakout, and then we got our 200 breakout. You can see right here, that's what I'm saying, and we pushed to 200 initially. This decent move on the calls, and 50% move there, 50% gains there. Then we take our initial profits, and then we wait for the dips for a trend move. You see it dipped, held 512 EMA Clouds, and then it pushed again, and it was basically a retest of the breakout. By end of the day, IWM hit 201. So the plan in the pre-market, if you listen to the pre-market plan, everything worked out pretty nicely by the end of the day. So I'm still swinging some IWM calls for this breakout, but this was a beautiful win for us this morning. Easy with the plan. We came with the plan, and we executed our plan this morning on IWM. So based upon IWM, now we'll talk about some of the tickers. CVNA was a big one. Let's talk about that. So talking about CVNA, CVNA is also my swing idea that I gave everyone on Twitter as well our community. I gave the swing idea at 42, 43, and the swing on CVNA is already at 62 bucks. And today we day traded as well. It was gapping up. It was on our watch list. My plan was to be bullish versus the 56 risk, and the breakout was over, the daily breakout was over 52. As you see here, there was a daily breakout. That's why I was interested. So as soon as the market opened, I said it's a day trade long. You can see 931. That's what I said. It's a day trade long there as well. And it pulled back. It held the pullbacks in the morning. You see right here the first candle, and then it started to push. So we added over 58, and in our first push we got 60, 70. Then secondary push we got our target to 61, 61. So I said we hold a bit more. So you can see my live guidance, watch HOD break, hold a bit more, HOD breakout. My final target was 64. So that's why we were scaling out. And then finally when it breaks 512, we cut our day trade position. But then you see it comes back to the EMA cloud, the morning breakout, and it bounces. That's where I said that 512 bounce, 3450 bounce on CVNA, and you can see again from that 3450 bounce it pushed back to 61. So nice little winner there today. Risking 70-80 cents, we made almost we made $3 there. So it's a good two times risk to reward trade. All the guidance timestamped is here. You can read it. So nice winner for us, CVNA, with the guidance, with repeatable set. So next one we are going to look at is CHWY, CHWY, CHWY. So CHWY was on our trade plan as well. Bullish neutral 22.10 was our risk level. You can see here. And as soon as market started, the CHWY started to push. And that's when on voice I said it's a good long as well, and we added a CHWY on 22.80s on the breakout, and CHWY pushed almost $1 for us. But the first stop profits we always take into 10 a.m. and then we take first profits on 10 a.m. and then that's where we lock half and then we leave half. So then you see it started to pull back. And I had locked all the profit I had. But I left 1/3 because you leave the 1/3 in case it pushes higher. So you lock most of your profit on the first move, and you see this bounce was still over our initial add where we added. It was still over it. It was still bullish. It was still over our break-even price of the breakout. And at the end of the day, CHWY closed really high. So that's what I said, all day guidance. If anybody was still in there, it's a good candidate to swing as well. But that was a nice little small winner CHWY there. So you can see our plan and our guidance. So let's look at the next one was AMD. So AMD, before AMD pushed back, I was on the voice. I was watching the strength. NVIDIA was weaker, but AMD was pushing over the EMA Clouds. So that's why I was saying the risk level is 138.60 level, 138.60, and the breakout is 140. So the breakout happened at 140. You can see right here, and it pushed all the way to 143. It pushed $3 from our breakout. That's why I said it's a good long. You see 4 minutes into market open, I said good long, and I kept saying lock more. On the first push, we lock more, and on the secondary push, when it hit there, it was just a first 20 minutes trade, and then we lock more. So we lock most of our position at 10 a.m. And we just leave 1/3. And then you can see once it breaks this 512, our rules tell us that we need to get out. So we close that 1/3 as well. But regardless, AMD was a good trade, morning trade. Yes, if it held, then we would have held. But you see where we stopped out. My rules that my community knows, or those who read, who study up my rules or who watch my recaps, you clearly know where the stops are, and that's why it's done. When it's breaking down here, you should be out of it. And my 10 a.m. rule tells me if it's not making higher highs, higher lows after 10 a.m., it's going to pull back. And look at the EMA extension, right? Even if you go to like smaller time frame, you can see how much the EMAs were extended. So when EMAs are extended so much, we always get some kind of pullback, and that's when you should think to start locking the profits. So we were glad that we were able to lock our profits before the AMD just basically tanked. So solar was my idea. I personally I was not able to execute because I was busy with other plays. But if you see, even in the pre-market, I was, that's what I told everybody, that solar today has to be on the watch list. ENPH had a news, solar is strong, and as you see both, and these are our main solar. So I maintain a solar watch list. If I show you here, so you can see that I have my solar watch list right here, and the whole solar watch list which I share in the community in our market analysis tab was green, and SPWR, SEDG, ENPH were the biggest mover on the solars. So solars on the watch again, as I mentioned, and then the solar stocks were moving, SED, ENPH. It was a good setup. It was a good setup to trade solars today. I talked about even in the morning when they were breaking out of this yesterday's highs, and then our pre-market discussion, and at end of the day solar really closed high, and also it was a 100 psychological breakout on SEDG. So it's all about keeping track of what is moving and what is not moving, and being ready in the pre-market. You are ready in the pre-market. You know what sector is hot, what stocks are hot, so that you can trade them. So that was a solar idea this morning. So let's quickly look at, also another idea was Bitcoin was strong today. A pre-market was on the watch list. Although I missed the coin trade here, but I want to talk about these Mara setups that I gave on the Twitter. So you see the Mara and RIOT, how they broke out, and they have been strong. So I just want to point out that if you focus on anything that is your focus, which is strong, although I personally was trading some other tickers. So you look at Mara, you look at RIOT, you take, before that big flush in the morning, they were good enough for your trade on these names, on Bitcoin and Mara. You can see it, and of course, my idea on Mara, you can clearly see this breakout pattern that is breaking out of the base. It was a breakout at 19 bucks and 20 bucks and went all the way to 22 bucks, right? So that was the Bitcoin. So let's talk about Adobe, guys. So Adobe, what is it? It's our Adobe is our like day 3, day 4 setup. Since the earnings, we have been watching it. Adobe again had a news yesterday, so it again becomes a day 2 setup because there was a news yesterday, and of course since the earning is like a day 4 setup. But Adobe, I posted on X as well what was the setup on Adobe. So Adobe, you see, that was a gap trade. Even yesterday I focused on it. I said gap trade, need to break 603. It's a swing, and also now it's turned into a swing for us. And even when I said that, you can see right at the open I said 933, and it's in the gap. So I told everybody it's in the gap, and then it was strong, it was holding up, and then it pushed into the gap. 603 was my breakout level I gave everyone, and look at where it went to 612. So huge winner on Adobe. Adobe for us. So day 4 setup plus a gap swing, Adobe. So you can see lot of this, everybody was in the Adobe in the community. They were trading Adobe. Easy setup, repeatable setup. It's in the gap. It's holding EMA Clouds. It held this EMA Cloud level 603 breakout, and that was almost a 12-point move, good enough for us to trade. Now for the swing, as long as it holds this swing lows, it is okay. Ideally I want to see 598 600 hold, but it can still retest the 593 592 level and then push back again. So at a bigger picture level, it's still stable. So Adobe day 4 and gap swing was a good one for us. So Tesla was a very good trade for us. I was watching the Tesla right at the open. I said, if you see here, let me go back and show you what I said right at open on Tesla. I saw it breaking the pivot. I saw volume coming in, and I thought it's worth to start a starter. So I did a starter. Let's see if I can show you guys here. So you see starter 253 my risk. I did a starter. When it broke out, I added more. Let me show you. So I said I'm going to add more if I see higher lows, and then I added more. I added more with the stops at 253. So the Tesla almost went to 258. And where were my targets? Let's look at my targets. So my initial target was 257. So we met 257. You can see right here. Right, second target was 258. We met 258. Third target was 258.74. Yeah, we were short for 258.74. By that time, we were already profitable. We were in the money. We left 1/3, 1/4, or we rolled into the options. So, you see most of the money is made in that first 1 hour, and you can clearly see that it was a nice winning trade for us with the proper guidance. You can see all my time-stamped guidance right here, and of course I was on the voice. So this was another winning. Somebody was new in the community. He said, should I short it? I said, no, I short. Be patient. People will be becoming impatient. If you are losing on this trade, that is your fault. It's not the fault of the stock. It's about your entry. You clearly know this is your risk level wherever you add. And if you are adding here, stopping out here, that's your problem. That's not the problem of the stock. And if you're shorting something which the system says is bullish and you're losing, that's your problem too. So understand where your risk level is, size accordingly, be ready. When I say I'm adding starter and I'm adding more, most of you should be in. This is for those who are in my community. Most of you should already be in by the time I say that I'm in. So let's look at BABA. So BABA was, it was an idea by Win. Win is an amazing trader. He knows the relative strength. He focuses on the relative strength. Right at open, he has been talking about BABA versus 73, and the BABA from 73 risk, adding at 74.40, hit all the way to 76. All day riding 512 EMA Cloud. Win was talking about 75.55, the level, and then 79.77 were the next levels, which hopefully it continues pushing. But my point is identifying what is moving, and this is the beauty of our community. Everyone has a specialty, and Win is amazing trader. Proud to have him, and you can clearly see how we kept eyes. So I was keeping eyes on solar and Bitcoin, but he was keeping eyes on the China sector. Not only BABA, you can clearly see Baidu going as well. So China sector, same setup, So that's about it, guys. You don't have to trade. I'm just reviewing 10 trades here, but even if you got 2 or 3 of them, that's more than enough. I'm not trading everything, which I'm personally trading. You see them: IWM, CVNA, CHW, Tesla. Other ideas I don't trade. I don't have to, but my community I have to share. And somebody was trading as ENPH, somebody was trading SEDG, so that was good. Let's look at a loser today. So today I was interested in the low float. I haven't traded a low float in a long time, but I was interested on this CGEN. It had a good news. If it broke out of this pre-market highs, then it would have been good long. So I did a starter versus the 2, but it never broke the pre-market high and never gave me a conviction to add more. So then it pulled back under 2. I stopped out. I took a 30-40 cents stop there, but it still held 34 EMA Cloud. So that is notable. So it's still on watch for tomorrow. If it holds up over 250, it can give us good trades as long as 34.50 holds. But anyways, it was a loser this morning, but we'll get a big mega low floater soon someday. So there was this Nova on the watch list today. I personally never got an entry. I was watching versus 14, but it kept pushing, right? I posted it right at open. It kept pushing from 15 to 1560. I don't know if somebody traded it, but it was a void idea, never gave me entry. So you don't see any comments there from me. So just want to talk about some swings, like for example, the bill. That's our current swing that we maintain a swing tracker in our community. If you look here, bill. So bill is it's filling the gap, right? My idea on the bill has been this gap fill trade. I've been long. If I go to my 10-minute swing tracker, we can see where did we long and what was our long. So let's see if I can show you. So bill was our long at $69 in the gap, and you can clearly see the gap trade on bill paying us dividends. So my plan is to start taking profits into 86, 88 area. So Oracle is a relatively new swing idea that I have been talking since yesterday. You see how this 104 swing, it pushed into that. So any retest hold this level is a good add, and other retest levels are 103, 104. So we'll see. So far just a small size. See if market tanks, it's going to pull back. But it's an idea like a bill. So eyes on Oracle as well for swing idea. It's right now. Yeah, so it's right now on watch there. So let's look at NVIDIA, guys. So NVIDIA, first thing I said today was there is no long there. It had some kind of news as well, but price action tells me, right? It's gapping down. It was never able to get over the EMA Clouds. It rejected EMA Cloud. I said no long, C minus, heavy, no long. 488 was my short target. Doesn't matter. It never went there, but we never lost money longing it. Right? No long, no long. All day I was saying no long. It rejected all day. If you shorted the pops, you made some good scalp money, but it was no long until, of course, in the end of the day, it made this reversal, which I didn't trade. But that was my all day guidance on NVIDIA. So, you just need to identify what is strong, what you need to long, what you don't need to long. Overall, it was not a great day for these mega caps. Quickly want to look at Meta. I did mention the Meta breakout at open. If you see, I did mention the Meta breakout 936. I mentioned that right at the open. It went on from 348 to 353. But what I want to show you guys is my levels on Meta. So if you see here, what I say is 347.56. 344 is the support level. So what did it do? It broke 347.56. It broke this level. And then boom, that's why I said breakout. That's why I said breakout. And and that was easy peasy trade following the level, so just the importance of levels and executing yourself. All right, guys, now let's look at our guidance on SPY QQQ today. So SPY all day I was I was talking about the strength, and I was saying that SPY is stronger than QQQ, and you could trade it, even though I said you can scalp QQQ long as well. That was my guidance. You can clearly see the trend QQQ because it was all-time high breakouts at 408. That's why I was interested in it. And SPY was just relatively stronger. That's what I was talking about on voice. And I had some trades in SPX. If I show you that, we had these SPX trades. Let's see if I can show you. That was a midday pullback, but my SPX calls from morning, they almost went from 560 to 810, 520 to 810 because of the strength. So, and all day we are guiding. If you see all day SPY SPX, the guidance continues to flow on our trading floor, and people are trading. We have a SPY SPX SPY tab. We even scalp short on a C minus short. So all day trend. So we'll see how market does tomorrow. Market needs a pullback. QQQ has a reason. If it comes under the all-time highs, maybe it gives a little bit of pullback. But as long as it's strong, you stay long. Do not try to predict. Do not try to anticipate. Do not step in forward of a running train. I always say that. If it's on a fade, we fade it. When it fades, we will trade the fade. Right now, everything is bullish. Everything is long. So so we'll see how tomorrow goes. But that was the guidance every day. So in our community, we are proud, right? I don't promise people making millions, but I'm proud that if you listen to my teachings, you don't lose money. You lose less, you win big. So you see how many ideas we had in the community, how many trades I personally had, and that's how you do it, guys. Repeatable, repeatable, repeatable. Every day repeatable. We lose, but we lose small. We long, we scale out, we scale in. All day repeatable process. So anyways, guys, thank you so much. If you want to trade with me, join our community. We are running some Christmas promos. Come for education, ideas. Do not come for alerts. We are not a buy-sell alert service. And we have a lot of value, a lot of scanners, a lot of tools in our community. Thank you so much. I'll see everyone tomorrow. Don't forget our $100 giveaway every day. Ask me a good question, tell me what you learned, and let's see, maybe you can win $100 every day. All right, guys, bye-bye.